Welcome to the Dream Catcher. Don't let someone else catch your dreams. You be the dream catcher. So, in lesson 4 of Partnership Business, we're going to follow the book Ganit Prakash. As per West Bengal Board of Secondary Education, this is chapter 14 in that book. You can refer to page number 202. What is expected from this chapter is one MCQ or one fill in the blanks or one true false question, plus you can expect one 2-mark question plus one 5-mark question is expected from this chapter. What I have done is I have categorized the entire questions in the book Ganit Prakash into 4 different types. So we'll start with the first type of question here, where profit is distributed in the ratio of capitals. Note your questions 1, 2, 3, 4 and 6. From here we have selected 2 questions to solve. We start with question number 3. Question says, Sobha and Masood together bought a car for 2,50,000. So they bought a car, means this is the cost price, and then they sold it for 2,62,250. This is the selling price. So if Sobha paid 1.5 times more than Masood, so it tells us something about the capital, that Sobha paid 1.5 times more than Masood. So we say let Masood's capital be X. So then we can find Sobha's capital, that is 1.5 times of Masood's capital. 1.5 times can be written as 3/2 into Masood's capital is X. So you get 3x by 2, that is Sobha's capital. Now you know both the partners' capital. So what we can do is we can find the ratio of capitals. So you see we have listed down Sobha's capital is to Masood's capital. X and X gets cancelled. What is left with is 3/2 is to 1. Now this is not a correct form of a ratio. We cannot interpret it in parts. Okay, it has to be in whole numbers so that we can interpret it in parts. So what we already know is below this 1 there's always the base is 1. So what we observe in this ratio is the bases, that is 2 and 1, the denominators are not the same. So we have to try to make the denominators the same. So what did we do is we multiplied both numerator and denominator by 2. Okay, so that our base, now it's 3/2 is to 2/2 is the same, and we can cancel the base, and what we get are 2 whole numbers, that is 3:2. So it gives a better interpretation of ratio. So we know the sum of ratios. Now we can distribute the profit. So profit is selling price minus cost price. So we know the selling price, cost price. Now we know the profit. So it is distributed in the ratio of 3:2. So 3/5 is Sobha's share and 2/5 is Masood's share. That is how you will distribute the profit. We move on to the next question, that is question number 6. It's slightly different than the previous question. So here we have 3 friends who have invested 6,80,000, 6,000, 8,000 and 5,000, okay, respectively from a cooperative bank. Means they've taken a loan from the cooperative bank and they do not have to pay interest if they repay the loan within 2 years. Now with this they purchased 4 rickshaws, and then at the end of 2 years they made a profit of 30,400 excluding all expenses. Means none of the expenses are deducted here. So what is the question telling then? They divide the profit among themselves and paid back the individual loan amount to the bank. So this is what we'll refer to. So we can first find the ratio of capital, first friend, second friend and third friend. So zeros get cancelled. We can now calculate the sum of ratio. So we know this much. Okay. Now the question read that they will repay back the loan. What loan? They have taken this loan 6,000, 8,000 and 5,000 from the bank, and now they'll repay this loan from where? From the profit that they have earned, that is 30,400. So the remaining profit which you see now, we have deducted 19,000 because that is paid to the bank. That was your loan amount. Okay, the remaining profit will be distributed among the three friends in the ratio of 6:8:5. So you can see the profit distribution. We move on to type 2. Some profit is distributed in a predetermined ratio and remaining in the capital ratio. Now this type is quite important. Most of your Madhyamik questions have come from this type. Okay, so please carefully watch the next part of the video. So here also we have selected two questions. Okay, questions number 5 and 8 were already discussed in lesson number 3. So we will be doing number 13 and 14. So we start with question number 13. We have 3 clear modelers, okay, who took a loan of 1 lakh from cooperative bank, and they have to prepay an installment of 28,100. So let's see how it works out. So we have a total profit of 1,39,100, okay, and they have to pay the annual bank installment, and they will pay it from the profit. So we deduct this from the profit. So we deduct 28,100 from the profit. What profit is left is 1,10,000. Now this is distributed. Half of the profit is distributed in terms of working days, that we'll see, and the remaining profit is distributed, and we have 55,500. So you see this profit in the ratio of working days, the question tells us that, and the remaining half will be distributed equally. So we will be distributing 55,500 in two parts. So this is the first part, that half of the profit, that is 55,000, is distributed in the ratio of working capital. So ratio of, that is working days. Ratio of working days is given. We have cancelled, and we have 12:11:14. Then we do the sum of ratios. We come to 37. Now we can distribute this profit 55,500 among all the three modelers. So they have, here you have your profit of all the three modelers. So this is the first part. Comes to the second part. Half the profit, that is 55,500 of the profit, is distributed equally. That means in the ratio of 1:1:1. That gives us a sum of 3. So all the three partners will get an equal share, that is 18,500, 18,500 and 18,500. Now this is the second part of the profit. So both the profits needs to be added. So first model's total share of profit, 18,000 from the first part and 18,500 from the second part. So we need to add that. The total profit is 36,500. Similarly for the second modeler and for the third modulo. So you understand the steps. We will see how profit is distributed. We will do it as per the question in two different parts, and at the end we will come and add the total profit. Now we start with question number 14. The question says, two friends invested 40,000 and 50,000 respectively to start a business. So we know the capital. They made a contract. They would divide 50% of the profit equally and the remaining 50 in the ratio of capital. So let us write the share of the profit of the first friend if it is 800 less than that of the second friend. So what we observe is the total profit is not given to us. So let the total profit be rupees X. Now 50% of this profit, that is 50 by 100 into X, is X by 2. The remaining profit is also the remaining 50%. That will also come X by 2. So 50% of profit, that's X by 2, is distributed equally. We know the ratio is 1:1. Sum of ratio is 2. First friend's share, half into the profit. Profit is X by 2. So we get X by 4. Similarly, the second partner's profit also comes to X by 4. Now, the remaining 50% is distributed in the ratio of capital. So, ratio of capital is first friend, it is to second friend. We cancel the zeros. We have 4:5. 5. Sum of ratio will give us 9. So first friend's share is 4 by 9 into the profit, that is x by 2. So we get 4x by 18. Second friend's share of profit is 5 by 9 into x by 2. We get 5x by 18. Again here we have got it in two parts. So we need to add the total profit from both the parts. So we have first friend's total share of profit, x by 4 from the first part plus 4x by 18 from the second part. Then we take the LCM of 4 and 18, which gives us 36. Okay, so this is how we solve. So 4 9s is 36, so 9 into x gives us 9x. 18 2s is 36, so 2 into 4 gives us 8x. So that's how we have got 17x in total. Similarly, for the second friend, the first share was x by 4 plus from the second part we have 5x by 18. Similarly, the LCM is 36, and now we know the total profit of the second friend. The question gives us a condition. Let us write the share of the profit of the first friend if it is 800 less than that of the second friend. So first friend's profit is less, second friend's profit is more. So this is what we understand from the question, that second friend's profit minus first friend's profit is rupees 800. We have just calculated them. We'll replace the values. You see 36 is in the denominator, that remains as the LCM. We subtract 19 minus 17x, we get 2x by 36. 36 goes up and gets multiplied with 800. 2 goes to the denominator. So you can cancel 2 and 800, and the answer comes to 14,400. So now what is x? X is the total profit that we know. What does the question tell us to find? Let us find the share of the first friend. So first friend's share of profit is 17x by 36. Replace the value of x and you have your answer as 6,800. Now we move on to the next type of question, that is type 3, capital invested for different time periods. You can refer to lesson number 3 to solve question number 9 and 10. What we do today is question number 11 and question number 12. So start with question number 11. Very important question here. It's very different than all of the questions in the book. So I've selected this. So the first part to read in this question, very important, is after 4 months, means we have two friends, Shrikant and Safuddin, and after 4 months another friend joins. So the partnership is changing from 2 to 3. Okay, Shrikant and Safuddin, what do is they withdraw that money which a new friend comes in with. Peter comes in with 81,000 and Shrikant and Safuddin are withdrawing that money. Okay, so we'll try to understand this part. So what we have is we have Shrikant and Safuddin. Shrikant invested 2,40,000, Safuddin invested 3 lakhs. So what we can do is, this is the first form of partnership. They were partners, so this is one partnership. So we can find their ratio of capital, that's 4:5, and we can find cancel the zeros, and we can find the sum of ratios, that comes to 9. Now what happens is, after 4 months, now see 4 months has elapsed, Peter comes in and he says, hey guys, I want to join your business. Safuddin says, sure, how much capital can you contribute? I can bring in 81,000. Then Shrikant thinks, can we buy a bus with 81,000? Safuddin says, no, let's divide the money. So these two partners, that is Shrikant and Safuddin, decides to divide the money, that is 81,000, which Peter brings. Okay, and they're going to divide this money in the ratio of their capital, okay, which is 4:5. So Shrikant withdraws 4 by 9 into 81,000, that is 36,000 is withdrawn by Shrikant, And Safuddin withdraws 5 by 9 of 81,000. He withdraws 45,000. So remember this withdrawals, and remember that these withdrawals are happening after 4 months. Okay, so now we find the capital invested by all the partners. Okay, so capital invested by Srikant. First is 2,40,000 he invested into 4 months, because for the first 4 months his capital was 2,40,000, and everything changes after 4 months. Plus, what does he do? He withdraws 36,000, so his capital has reduced. And this is there in the business for how many months? 8 months. So I hope this calculation is understood. So we multiply 2,40,000 into 4, we get 9,60,000, plus subtract this 2,40,000 and 36, we get 2,04,000 into 8. So 9,60,000 plus you have 16,32,000. You add them, you have a total of 25,92,000. Similarly, capital invested by Safuddin. He initially started with 3 lakhs, and that was in the business for 4 months. Plus, everything changes after 4 months, like I told you. He had a capital of 3 lakhs, from which he withdrew 45,000, and that is in the business for 8 months. So that's 12 lakhs plus subtraction 2,55,000 into 8. You'll get 12 lakhs plus 20 lakhs 40,000, and that comes to 32 lakhs 40,000. So these are the capital invested by these two partners. Now comes Peter. So capital invested by Peter is easy. He invested 81,000, and since he joined the business only after 4 months, means he was in the business for the remaining 8 months. So into 8, so his is 6,48,000. So we know the capital invested by all the 3 partners according to the time period. So now we can find the ratio, new capital ratio by all the 3 partners. We put the values. First we cancel the zeros. Okay, then we use 36 to cancel these terms. 36 into 72, 36 into 90, and 36 into 18. And we use 18 to cancel all these terms. 18 4s are, 18 5s are, and 18 1s are. So what is left with is 4:5:1. So we can find the sum, that comes to 10. Now we can think about the profit. The total profit given to us is 39,150. So Srikant's share will be 4 by 10, Safuddin's share will be 5 by 10, and Peter's share will be 1 by 10. Next is question number 12. So we have 2 friends, Arun and Ajay, started a business by investing 24,000 and 30,000 at the beginning of the year. But after a few months, Arun invested 12,000 more. So very important here is this part, that after a few months Arun invested 12,000 more. So we don't know this few months, but in the previous question it was mentioned, no, after 4 months. So here that part is not mentioned in the question. So then we know after a year the profit was 14,030 rupees. Okay, so since we don't know this, let's take that as x. So let Arun invest rupees 12,000 more after x months. Okay, so remember the previous example, previous question, we said after 4 months. So we need to understand this part now. So capital invested by Arun. First, he invested 24,000, and that was for x months, like we had done in the previous case, 4 months. Okay, plus now he has bought 12,000 more, so his capital has increased. So it was 24,000 before plus 12,000 into, now what time should we take here? That is very, very important. So in the previous sum we had 4 months into, next part we did into 8. That came as 12 minus 4 is 8, because the total time is 1 year. So we are taking 12 months. So if we have taken x in the first one, we have to take 12 minus x here. So this part is very important to know. So 24,000 into x will give us 24,000x plus 36,000 into 12 minus x. So we multiply that, we get 4,32,000 minus 36,000 x. Now what we do is we arrange the like terms together, that is the x, the variables together and constant separately. So we arrange that. What we're left with is 4,32,000 minus 12,000 x. What we observe here is we can take 12,000 as common, because 4,32,000 came as a multiplication of 36 into 12 actually, that's why. So we have 36 as 12,000 into 36 will give us 4,32,000 minus x only. Now we can calculate the capital invested by Ajay, and since nothing is mentioned about Ajay, whether he has bought more money or withdrawn any money, so his capital remains invested in the business for the entire 12 months. So that is 30,000 into 12, that gives us 3,60,000. So now we know the capital of both the partners. So we calculate the ratio of capitals. So first we can cancel the 3 zeros here, then we can use 12 1 ja 12 and 12 into 30. So what is left with is 36 minus x is to 30. So this is our ratio. Now we can do the sum of ratios. 36 minus x plus 30, open the bracket. So we have 66 minus x. So we know all this. Now we go to the last part of the question, which says after a year the profit was 14,030. Okay, so we know the total profit. And what do we know? We know Arun's received the profit share of 7130, means we know Arun's share of profit. So we have to use this. So Arun's share of profit is equals to, so Arun's ratio was 36 minus x and the total is 66 minus x into the total profit. Now we know Arun's share is 7130 is equals to 36 minus x by 66 minus x into 14030. Now the next step is this goes to the left hand side and goes to the denominator. Okay, so it becomes 7130 by 14030, zeros get cancelled, is equals to this. Now 66 minus x will get cross multiplied with 713 and 1403 will get cross multiplied with 36 minus x. So you can see only the denominators will move on both the sides. So this is what we are left with. We multiply 713 into 66. So we multiply these terms. This is what we get. Again we arrange the variables and the constants together. So this is what we have. We have bought 1403, which was minus on the right hand side to the left hand side, so it became positive. And we have taken 47058, which was positive from the left hand side to the right hand side. So after subtraction we get 690x is equals to 3450. Now what we have is x is equals to 3450 divided by 690. So zeros get cancelled, and we can cancel this with 69 1 ja and 69 5 ja. So what we have got is x is equals to 5. So our conclusion for this answer is, therefore Arun invested 12,000 more after 5 months. This is what was asked in the question. Now we come to type 4, profit sharing after deducting honorary allowance. We have discussed about honorary allowance in lesson 1. So we are going to take question number 15, and I have added an additional question here because there is no other question with honorary allowance in the book. You can try to solve the additional question after we do question number 15. So Pooja, Uttam and Meher started a business with capitals of 5,000, 7,000 and 10,000 respectively, with the condition that monthly expenses for running business is 125. So this is the first thing that we get, that is the monthly expenses. So is rupees 125, and yearly expenses will be 125 into 12, because there's 12 months in a year, so that gives us a total of 1500. So this is the expenses for running the business. The second thing that is given to us is Pooja and Uttam each will get rupees 200 per month for keeping the accounts. This is what is honorary allowance. Means if any partners work extra, they do anything extra, then they will get paid. So this part for keeping books of accounts, Pooja will get rupees 200 into 12, that is 2400, and Uttam will also get rupees 200 into 12, that is 2400. Now the total is bookkeeping expenses is 2400 plus 2400, that gives us 4800. So what you see here, two things: yearly expenses, that is 1500, and bookkeeping expenses, that is 4800. Remember, all this will be paid from the profit, that is 6960. So we come to that part. We have a total profit of 6960, and we have a net profit. So we subtract the yearly expenses. We have to subtract the bookkeeping expenses, because all these expenses will be paid from the profit. So this is what we have. So we have a total net profit of 660, which can now be distributed among the partners. So ratio of capitals, so invested by all the three partners, you can cancel the zeros. The 5:7:10. So your sum of ratio is 22. So Pooja's share of profit is 5 by 22 into 660. Uttam's share is 7 by 22, and Meher's share is 10 by 22. So you can see the share of profit. But Pooja and Uttam were also entitled to honorary allowance. So at the end of the year, Pooja will get both. 150 is her share of profit, and 2400 is for keeping the accounts. So the total is 2550. Similarly, Uttam will also get 210 plus 2400, that is 2610. So this is what the question had asked us to solve. I hope this was understood. For any queries, please contact me. Okay, I am